You remembered.
I love toast.
Although it looks like a poor man's whirly-bird, a gyrocopter operates on a different principle than a helicopter. It's called auto-rotation.
How come I always have to do the stories where you wear a helmet?
Well, now we're at the point where we actually don't break our legs and kneecaps, and are just having fun all the time.
As whitewater technology gets better, you get wetter on extreme static.
We have dug up papers from 1948, 1952 that look like the newspaper that you read today.
Yo! Cool! Don't do this at home!
Hi, I'm Paul Robbins.
And I'm Phil Cowan. Welcome to Next Step. If you're in the market for your own aircraft, you might find the Learjet to be a little out of your price range.
Maybe a Bell Jet Ranger is a little too noisy for the neighbors. But how about a gyrocopter?
Fuel pump on, instruments on, clip up.
It kind of looks like a go-kart with rotors, but this sky buggy is actually a lot more than that.
Check it out! It's the next generation of gyroplanes!
Air Command International is launching the first ever production gyroplane, and for as little as $2,000 you can get in on the action. Or, for a little more, you can take to the skies in their top-of-the-line tandem model with all the latest bells and whistles.
This is the only six-cylinder Subaru engine that's ever been put on a gyro before. There's a lot of four-cylinders out there that are on, but this is the most powerful engine that's on a gyro at this particular time.
Although it looks like a poor man's whirly-bird, a gyrocopter operates on a different principle than a helicopter. It's called auto-rotation. It's engine power that turns a helicopter's blades, but not so on the gyro. Its blades turn on their own as it moves forward through the air.
The angle of the rotor blades to the relation to the wind causes lift as the air flows through the rotor blade. It's like a big moving wing.
So the engine in a gyrocopter is only used to turn the rear propeller, which is what provides the thrust and keeps the thing moving forward.
The rotor blades on top doesn't even know the engine is going in back as we're pushing through the air. Once the motor in back quits, as long as we maintain our forward speed and land, it's perfectly safe.
Sound fishy? Yeah, that's what I thought. Until...
Okay, we've just killed the engine in our delightful gyrocopter. And at this point, I'm not worried at all. Just kind of wondering why Phil is not doing this story instead of me. I gotta tell you what, Tom, I am impressed. No power on the engine on that landing. Look, I'm alive!
Mike Lawhead is one of the converted. He's been flying his gyro as a hobby for a couple of years now.
At the first time, your heart is just petrified. Going down the runway and you have blades that are spinning around, then when you get them spun up, well, you can see they're just a blur. You start to pull back on the stick, and you can feel the front nose starting to rise up, and you give it full power, and off you go. And that is, the feeling right there is just lifting off the ground. You aren't supposed to be there.
So it's great for sightseeing, lots of fun for recreation, but I'm saying having your own gyroplane might also be pretty darn handy.
An advantage of gyroplanes over, say, ultralights or gliders is that you can land them in tight spaces. And with the newest feature, the Wunderlich pre-rotator, the amount of room you need for takeoff has been dramatically reduced. It works by temporarily diverting engine power to the rotors.
We engage the pre-rotator by squeezing this, which in turn engages this wheel, brings it to this drum on your prop. And that has a flexible shaft that turns a gear.
With power going to the blades, they start generating the lift you need for takeoff before you're actually moving forward.
You release the lever, And then as you're traveling down the runway, the wind will do the rest. The wind will spin the blades up faster and faster as you move through down the runway.
Off you go. And once you're climbing, you can really climb up to 10,000 feet and at speeds that range from 20 to 75 miles per hour. But even with all these new features, there still seems to be one thing missing: the fuselage.
The next step for Air Command is a fully enclosed gyrocopter, more closely resembling a helicopter cockpit.
They're going to market it to sheriff's departments in rural areas and also to
There's the mail.
post offices.
Up next, how desktop computers outsailed the mainframes in America's Cup.